Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Magick Witchcraft Occultism. This is episode 9, part 2 on the conscious mind. Also, I'm sorry that this episode is late. It should have been out 4 or 5 days ago, to be honest with you. It's just taking a long time to convert my book into scripts. So I'm sorry about that. And I'd like to very briefly explain that this portion, or this part of episode 9, is on my personal philosophy on how I view the conscious mind and the 7 chakras, or the chakras that are associated with the conscious mind. Also, please remember to like, share, subscribe, click the little notification bell so you never miss an episode, so I stop getting lost in the YouTube algorithm, and I really appreciate that. Alright, let us begin. The conscious mind and chakras. Now, I will describe and exemplify how the conscious mind is associated with 3 out of the 7 chakras. The conscious mind, to a certain degree, can be seen as a simpler or a different perspective on several different philosophies or systems, or at least specific portions of other philosophies and systems of occult practices that have become intertwined together. 3 out of the 7 chakras, specifically the root, Solar-Plex, and throat chakra. This can also be seen through a different lens of the 7 heavenly virtues, or the 7 deadly sins, or 7 cardinal sins of the Christians, specifically temperance, patience, kindness, and out of the sins would be gluttony, wrath, and envy, of the Christians specifically, perhaps through a more mystical aspect associated with the 4 elements. Or the 5 or 6 or 7 elements, and there's different elemental systems to go off of. It depends on which you are using, but you'll see how many of these things associate later or correspond later. Each of these different philosophies come with their own insight and wisdom. Each of them can be applied in their own way. Some fit more neatly together than others, though. But they can all be seen as different aspects and philosophies on how to live a good life in their own way. Also, each of these different philosophies pertain to different aspects of the conscious mind, which is a conglomeration that encompasses many aspects of different philosophies, and to a degree a simplified version of each of them in their own way. Shortly you will see how each of these philosophies conglomerate together, and what the conscious mind primarily concerns itself with in your day-to-day life, which is your need to have, act, and speak. These needs will present themselves in a mixture that is both subtle and direct. The exact dichotomy will differ from person to person, but it will always present itself as it is part of the human condition. Now let us briefly examine how each of these different aspects influence and direct the conscious mind. The conscious mind concerns itself with your overall health and well-being, or your ability to sustain yourself. Do you have enough wealth? Do you have enough nourishment? Do you have somewhere safe to live? Are all your physical needs being met, and will they continue to be met in the foreseeable future? One of the most primal aspects of the conscious mind is that of simple survival. Once this has been achieved, only then will you be able to thrive. You see, the root chakra is concerned with survival and is blocked by fear, the fear of not having enough. This fear can present itself as gluttony, and this is why it is balanced by temperance. It allows you to know when you have enough where your survival is no longer being threatened. Once this criteria has been achieved, only then will you be able to thrive. This exemplifies the connection to the root chakra. The conscious mind concerns itself with the ability to provide a good life for not only for yourself, of course, but also for those who depend on you, those who you take care of. Your spouse, your children, your parents, possibly others as well. One of the most obvious aspects of the conscious mind is the ability to achieve and acquire. This is commonly achieved by perseverance, so as you see, the Solar-Plex chakra is concerned with your will and is blocked by shame. The shame that can be caused by either action or inaction. Perhaps an individual may have failed, or obligations were thrust on them and they were unable or unwilling to live up to the challenge at the time. This shame can lead to feelings of inadequacy or wrath. An individual can easily direct these feelings either inward or outward, or both for that matter. This is why wrath is balanced by patience. Because you are unable or unwilling yesterday doesn't mean you are unwilling or won't be ready today. This patience leads to planning benchmarks and achieving smaller goals that will lead you to greater outcomes while constantly looking forward to the future, while striving to be better than you are today or better than you are now. Overcoming obstacles that stand in your way to accomplish what appears to be impossible, this need to achieve exemplifies the connection to the Solar-Plex chakra. The conscious mind. It concerns itself with the ability to effectively communicate information to others. Now, if you consider that any goal of importance you want to achieve requires the ability to have effective communication in almost any kind of relationship, no matter how personal or vague. Once you understand this, then you will quickly come to realize the importance of your own voice. The second thing you will come to understand is no one likes to be lied to. People rather be told the truth, because once you know you've been lied to, trust has been broken, and trust is a very fragile thing. It is said that trust can take a lifetime to build and a moment to lose. So now you can see the throat chakra is concerned with truth and is blocked by lies. But the most dangerous lies are the lies that we tell to ourselves. Example, I know he or she loves me. I know I am the most qualified person for this job and for this promotion, even though you know in your heart and soul you're not. These lies give us false hope instead of having a more realistic view of the situation that would just be more helpful overall. This is why envy is balanced by kindness, as there is a gentle and a harsh way of telling people the truth, because words do matter. With this understanding, the conscious mind also knows it can achieve any of its goals without the help or the aid of others, but it also knows it is much easier to achieve any goal with the help of like-minded people. This aspect of our mental processing allows us to convey ideas and propose solutions to objectives to a person or people that can be mutually beneficial, or to persuade others to your line of thinking, possibly through the use of manipulation. These are the practical characteristics that exemplify the throat chakra, emphasized through the relation of the conscious mind. All right. Now, I am out of time once again, and I intended for this to be done in 2 parts, but evidently I'm going to have to do a 3rd part of the conscious mind. But that's okay. That's probably the shortest part, and probably the part that's going to interest people the very most, as it's on how the conscious mind actually affects or is used in the practice of magic itself. So, as always, I wish you all the very best of luck with your research, and go in peace.